Having trouble remembering things? Do you try to memorize something only to forget it hours later? If this is your case, or you simply want to improve your memory retention, stay until the end because I'm going to present you with 5 of the best memorization techniques practiced by memory champions. The first strategy may seem obvious at first, but it has proven to be super effective in storing information in the long-term memory, which is what you want if you feel that you tend to forget things easily. This strategy is called spaced learning or spaced out repetition, and as the name suggests, the trick here is to review the information you intend to memorize at certain intervals. The explanation behind it is that, according to the German psychologist Hermann Ebbinghaus, memories weaken over time, as seen on this graph, but the most significant dip occurs just minutes or hours after first reviewing the information. So, in order to prevent the information from reaching 0% retention, you should set time intervals for reviewing what you learned so that each time the learning curve slows down until you don't need to review your notes anymore. But you may ask yourself, how often should I review it? Well, just try to recall the key aspects of what you are memorizing, and if you are having trouble, then it's probably time for a review session. Or simply set a session every 2 days for a week, then once a week for a month, and so on. But what if you want to memorize something faster? Let's say you have an exam tomorrow, so you have only a few hours to learn the source material. Then this next memorization strategy is what you need. The Locus Method is one of the earliest recorded memorization strategies, even dating back to ancient Greece. Also known as the memory palace technique, the idea here is to recreate a place in your mind, preferably something you are familiar with, like your house or the place you work at, and have a mental journey through it. The method works like this. Let's say you have a shopping list consisting of 3 items. Then you match the list with 3 different locations in your mental place and go through them in order in a journey fashion. For example, you are entering your house but someone left a can of beans at the front door. Then you walk to the kitchen and grab yourself a banana that you intend to eat in your room. So you go there and find a pair of batteries lying on the floor. To recall the items, just retrace the memory route and you should be able to retrieve the information. Combine this method with spaced learning to increase the chances of any information being stored in the long-term memory. Not much of a visual learner, or simply want a more practical approach to memorizing something, then these next 2 methods just might be what you need. How do you tell the difference between a stalagmite and a stalactite? Don't worry if you don't know the answer. After all, they sound very similar. Well, this is a stalagmite, and this is a stalactite. To differentiate them in the future, just use a mnemotechnic. For some people, the G in stalagmite stands for ground, and the C in stalactite is for ceiling. For others, it's the sound of the word, like the stalactite hangs tight and so on. The trick here is to associate a part of the word with something that makes a logical connection. It could be visual or auditory, whatever works best for you. This next method is similar, but people tend to use it when dealing with larger quantities of information. It's also very simple. It's simply the use of acronyms. Now think quickly of the names of the planets in the solar system. You might have recited them as you tried to retrieve the information from your long-term memory, which is great because it proves that you memorized them. But what if you don't remember the order? Well, next time, just recite this sentence instead. My very easy method just shows us 9 planets. Creating acronyms is an easy way of compressing information so that you remember it more easily. Do you consider yourself a creative person? Then why don't you try out producing a play? No, really. It has to do with why theater actors get to memorize their lines in long plays and never stutter. Their secret is to understand the emotion behind every scene or character and then try to embody it. So what you'll have to do is treat the material you want to memorize as if it were the plot line of a movie or play, or even a video game, and transform the key aspects of the material into characters with emotions so you can have a more profound connection with it and thus increase the chances of it sticking with you. This method is especially useful when trying to memorize the general scope of large quantities of information. So those were 5 of the most effective memorization techniques for you to practice and master. Thanks for watching until the end. Leave us in the comment section which method worked best for you. And while you are at it, leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next video covering more brain skills.